Yo, 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 what's going on, good people? It's your homie HerbMan coming back at you with a brand new episode of, you guessed it, Herb of the Day. So go tell somebody your homie is on, man, and we busting you upside the head with a hot banger boogie. Any of you guys are suffering from coronary heart disease or angina, or if you're suffering from diabetes, then this is going to be the video for you, all right? So without further ado, man, let's go ahead and get right into the herb of the day. I want to give a shout out first, though, to all of my supporters. We sure do appreciate you guys, man, for continuing to support the station and making this your #1 hub for herbal education, as well as if you are new, if this is your first time here on the Herb of the Day show with your homie HerbMan, please hit that logo on your screen right there. And remember to hit that notification bell so that you never, ever miss a daily episode of Herb of the Day. All right. And then plus we got plenty of other information on our channel, especially if you guys are into the wealth strategies. All right. Now, without further ado, man, let's go ahead and get into it. Let me swap my screen around. You guys let me know when you have it and we'll proceed. Yes, sir. Again, you're rocking with the best, man. I am a host, HerbMan, and this is the Herb of the Day show. Now, what is our herbs of the day? We have a double whammy today, so that is going to be a good thing. All right. Now, today we're talking about two of the cacti, or two people in the cactus family. Okay. And so we'll get to exactly who's who, but on the first one here, we're going to call this prickly pear. Okay. This is called prickly pear, and it comes from Mexico. It is a perennial plant. It grows in the tropical climate, and it grows to about the height of about 5 meters. And this is what we normally would consider to be a cactus, and what we normally view as a cactus. Now, on to your right here, this is another part of the cactus family. All right, and this originates from Central America, along in the West Indies and things of that nature. And this is a evergreen plant. So you see right there, there are two different types of plant. Okay, but this one also too loves the tropical climate, and it grows a little shorter than the original cactus. It grows to about 3 meters, and particularly this one is the first one we're going to talk about here, because I know you guys are like, huh, how does that be a cactus? And so we want to get into that one first. All right. Now, what is the name of that particular cactus? It is called Selenicereus grandiflorus. All right. Selenicereus grandiflorus. And it's also called night blooming cereus. Okay. Night blooming cereus. All right. And so what we're talking about here, as far as the parts used, we're going to be talking about the dried or fresh flowers. Those are the things that have the medicinal value, and they have some constituents in it like alkaloids and flavonoids, and all of those are always going to be great for the system. Now, what are some of the actions of this particular cactus? We see that this is has been known to have some cardiac stimulant actions. Okay, so that means it's going to stimulate your cardiovascular system, which is pertaining to your heart. It's also going to increase the force of the heartbeat. So if you're dealing with weak heartbeat or something like that, then this is going to be good for that. And it also too is a central nervous system stimulant. Very, very good herb when you're talking about your central nervous system and your sympathetic and your parasympathetic system. Now, next is it is a tonic to the sympathetic nervous system. So again, good for the central nervous system, which is good for the brain and just the whole body in particular. But it also is a tonic, which means it tonifies and nourishes the sympathetic nervous system. And that's always going to be a good quality in any herb that you guys are looking for. Now, this one increases the size of the heartbeat and reduces it in frequency. It has these particular actions, okay, to increase size of the heartbeat and reduces its frequencies, okay? So you'll get bigger heartbeat, and you don't necessarily have to worry about some of the other effects of getting that particular bigger heartbeat, okay? And so it's almost like it normalizes it for you. But this is not an emergency agent such as Digitalis. For you guys out there who are dealing with coronary heart disease, you may understand and know what Digitalis is. So if you're in a state of an emergency, this would not necessarily be your go-to, okay? This also requires time for it to act on the system the way that it needs to. But then it also has an action to where it is not a depressant. Okay, a lot of times when they give you these particular heart medications, they'll give you a depressant, and the depressant sometimes will slow things down, will kind of get you into a more calm state. But this doesn't do that for you. Okay. Now, what are some of the historical uses of this particular version of the cactus? Okay. Well, this some of the historical uses is been known to be used in heart weakness with low blood pressure and valvular insufficiency. Okay. It has also been used for rapid pulse with loss of body strength. Okay, that's when your chest is held in a vice. Okay, if you got unstable angina or coronary diseases, then it's been known to be used in that particular regards. And it's also too been known to be used if you're feeling some numbness in your left arm. Remember when coming a heart attack, normally you will feel it in your left arm before you get the heart attack. So this has everything to do with heart disease and all that type of stuff that we would go through, especially when we're dealing with heart attack symptoms. Okay, so this is very good for you guys to research because heart disease is the #1 killer of mankind. All right, now this also relieves difficult breathing. It's also been used to relieve difficult breathing or congestion of the lungs of heart causation. So when you have pulmonary issues that are in your lungs, then it probably be good for that. And also it has been used as it has no known side effects. It enables the heart sufferers to face the world with a renewed confidence because you don't have the side effects. You don't have the side effects when dealing with Selenicereus grandiflorus. All right. And it also has been used for aneurysms. Also has been used for cholesterized arteries, which we all suffer from when we're suffering from the heart issues and the heart disease and the plaque in our arteries. And how are we going to clean our arteries? Well, this is one of those things you may want to do your research in. It's also historically been used for arteritis, which is inflammation in the artery, especially for the temporary issues that you may have with that. It's also been used for heart murmur, okay, palpitations and things of that nature. It has been used for sexual neurasthenia, excuse me. And it's also been used for masturbation palpitation, which is what I just discussed earlier with the palpitations of the heart, secondary prophylaxis following myocardial infarction. So if you have any type of heart issues, arterial issues, coronary issues, pulmonary issues, any type of clogging of the arteries, you need to look at this particular cactus. Okay. Now, some of the recommended ways to prepare this is we always going to put 3 times a day if you need it. And the recommended format is going to be a tea format, which we love here at Leaf and Violet Essentials. You do about 2 to 3 flowers. Remember, we're dealing with the flowers, whether dried or fresh. And you're gonna do 2 to 3 flowers to each cup of boiling water. You allow these flowers to infuse for about 15 minutes, and then you will do a dose of 1/3 to a half a cup 3 times a day. Also, too, you can get this in a liquid extract form, and you can do about 1 to 8 drops 3 times a day. Also, it is good to combine this with motherwort and oak straw if you need to enhance its action. Okay, and you guys, if you had never heard of motherwort and oak straw, then go do your research on those. But those are also 2 pretty good herbs. All right, and then also too, you can get this in a tincture, the tincture of cereus. All right, and you dose that at about 0.12 to 2 milliliters, which is going to be between 2 to 30 drops, and you'll do that in some water. Okay, so this is going to be, now this is the first part of this, so it's definitely going to be good for all things to do with angina, arteriosclerosis, palpitations of the heart, like we said. Even if you have diaphragmitis, coughing, colic, edema, hematuras, gout, I mean, all kinds of things. Like I said, anything that's really dealing with the valves, this is going to be really good for. It's also been used for asthma and bronchitis, difficult menses, because again, that's dealing with blood flow. It's been good for hematopsis, melancholy. I mean, urinary tract infections. Like I said, pneumonia, all the things that got to do with the valves and the fluids. This is going to be very, very medicinal for those things. All right. Now, we do have another one that is a part of this particular family. Now, this is the original one that when we say cactus, this is probably the first one that comes to mind right here. And this one is Cactus nopal, okay, or just cactus or nopal in Mexico, or prickly pear. Okay, now a lot of the Mexicans will probably just call it nopal, but it also goes by prickly pear. And the scientific name for this one is Opuntia ficus indica. Opuntia ficus indica, okay? And it differs from Selenicereus, from the night blooming cactus that we just talked about, okay? Now, some of the actions for this particular cactus, if you did not know that cactus have, you know, medicinal value, well, they do. And so this one is an astringent, okay, which means that it's going to contract and it's going to constrict things in the valves and the muscles and the tissues. And it also acts as a hemostatic, which means it's going to be good for the blood, okay? So this is what you're looking at here when you're dealing with the cactus that's in the deserts, or that's in, you know, in some of the westerns that we look at, and all those types of things. All right, now, what are some of the historical uses for this particular cactus? Well, it's been used historically for IBS, irritable bowel syndrome. It has also been used for mucosolitis, which is meaning just a lot of mucus buildup in your colon and things of that nature, in your digestive area. And it's also been used for prostatitis. Okay, so prostatitis is inflammation in the prostate. Okay, so that's just a few things that has been used for historically. Again, if you're dealing with any of those things and you need to use nopal, you would do it 3 times a day. Okay, and the recommended way to do it is you'll do 2 to 3 of the dried or fresh flowers, just like the other cactus, to 1 cup of boiling water. You would infuse it for 15 minutes, and you would dose this one at about half a cup, okay, 3 times a day if needed. Also, you can get nopal, prickly pear, or this particular cactus in a liquid extract form. And there you do about 5 to 15 milliliters in water, and then you're good to go. Or you would just take it under the tongue or whatever you need to take it for that. Now, some of the other things that this is also good for is diabetes. Okay, this is very, very good for diabetes. Again, it's good for colitis, the hangover. If you guys are suffering from hangovers all the time, you know, prostatitis, so it's going to be good for inflammation. If you're dealing with muscle spasms, because it's an astringent, it's going to be good for that. Nausea is good for pain, the prostate enlargement, obesity, priapism, if you guys are dealing with that. Okay, but you know, the most effective thing here would probably be, you know, now in the new day, you probably want to look at nopal as something that could help you out in the diabetic field. Now, you see how beautiful these plants are. I love to look at Selenicereus right here, the night blooming cactus. You can tell why it has that name, the night blooming. Looks like this is a big old sunshine right here with a little bulb coming out of the middle. So very pretty, very beautiful tree. Again, we already used to knowing what the original cactus looked like. Mr. Nopal here with his particular bulbs on the top of it. So you guys really want to do your research about these particular plants. Again, this is why we do these videos. We're not going to come out with some of the same old. All of our stuff, we want to make sure you understand that they are medicinal herbs. So you want to treat these herbs with a sense of caution, like you would do medicine and prescription drugs, okay? And when we say that, we say, please consult your physician when doing anything that you see on our particular channel, because we are giving you guys the strongest and the most potent information and the strongest and the most potent herbs. So just understand that when you come to this channel, that you're looking at medicinal herbs, and that you need to be just as careful with these herbs as you would any type of prescription drug. Again, we would say that these are most effective for angina, angina being another word for coronary diseases, and that's got everything to do with the heart, whether you're dealing with palpitations, whether you're dealing with clogged arteries, whether you're dealing with a weak heartbeat, you know, all those particular things. You want to look at Selenicereus or the night blooming cactus for those particular issues. And if you're dealing with diabetes and you don't really know what to do, and you've gotten all these things thrown at you and none of them seem to work, well, how about looking into prickly pear, or another word for another name for would be nopal. We do have nopal here at Leaf Valley Essentials. So if you guys need any of that, please feel free to let us know. We'll definitely have to do a consultation with you on that before we're able to, you know, let you know about it and how to use it and get it to you. But we can definitely get it to you. All right. So with that being said, man, I hope you guys I hope these things are really going to be useful for you. And we want to thank you guys for all of the support that you guys are giving us. Please stay connected and continue to follow us on all of our platforms, Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube, as well as Twitter at Love HerbMan. And like I said, we're going to continue to fill our website up. So you can go to www.leafofvalleyessentials.com. We got some brand new things that are on their way as well, because we're diving into growing our own herbs right now. So I'm very, very excited about, you know, that process and what we can do to bring you guys exactly what we've been talking about. But we want to kind of get them here. We want to be able to make them more convenient for you. We want to be able to make them more convenient to our people. And so we're trying to learn how we can grow them here in Georgia, and trying to figure out what can grow, what can't grow, so that we can really try to bring the most potent of the herbs that we possibly can, whether it's for edible use, whether it's for medicinal use, or whether it's just for, you know, herbal treatments. Okay, we definitely want to try to do that. So we'll continue to grow. We definitely want you to grow with us, man. And like I said, these herbs are very, very useful for people who are dealing with heart diseases or diabetes. So please go tell somebody to go look at the videos and do their own research, and then consult their physician if they're thinking about using any of these herbs, man. Hey, I appreciate everything you guys are doing, man. And you know we love you, and there's absolutely nothing you can do about it. And until next time, man, peace. Yes, sir.